Hey, what is up, guys? This is FNH here, and today I am going to be talking about copyright basics that every content creator should know of. Okay, so this is really a basic thing that almost everyone, in my opinion, should have some idea of how it works, right? I do know that it's not the case. A lot of content creators, especially new ones and smaller ones, don't really know what copyright is. If someone copyrights your work, what you have to do, whether it's on YouTube or online or basically anywhere, what you have to do. So yeah, I created this this small little, I guess, PowerPoint, just to list out the basics of what you need to do if your work has been copyrighted, and even before that, how to protect yourself against being getting your work stolen. All right, so this is basically just copyright basics that every content creator should know. All right, so first is how to protect your IP. IP meaning intellectual property. There's three ways: there's patent, trademarks, and copyright. Okay, for patents are mostly for product designers and inventions. So when you've probably heard of it, a brand new invention that has a patent on it, right? So that's basically for inventions. It has to be new. It can't just be a modification of an existing item, and it can't be some arbitrary idea or anything. It has to be a concrete fixed thing, a brand new concrete fixed thing. All right, so that's patent. And then the next one is trademark. You guys probably heard of trademark also. Trademark is basically where a product comes from. So, for example, logos or even an audio could be a trademark. So, a jingle or something like that. So, that's basically trademark. All right. The next one is copyright. So copyright is mainly for graphic designers, and it's for creative work in general, right? So whether it's written work, drawn illustrations, TV, audio, artistic, it could be any of those, and it really does hold a lot into it. But obviously, there are some things that aren't under copyright, so I will talk about that. But this course we're going to be mainly focused on copyright. So patent and trademark not so much, since this is for like YouTube and mostly content creators. So I'm going to be focused on how to protect that. All right, so one thing is, how does it help? How does copyright help, and what is the point of it? How to copyright your work, and why would you ever want to do that? So the first thing is, you can stop people from using your creation without permission. All right, so basically, if you created something, obviously you would want the credit for that, and not only that, you would want maybe even payment for that. All right, and that's the next thing. You can charge people to use it. Okay, so once you have your thing copyrighted, you can basically charge a fee to the person using it. Okay, so that's when you actually start to make money. Okay, so those are basically the two really basic ideas of how copyright can help you. All right, so now what's excluded in copyright? I mentioned this before, not everything is included in copyright. So there are some things that are excluded, which are ideas. So if you have an idea about something that's not good enough for you to copyright it, it has to be implemented for you to copyright it, basically. All right, so idea, you can't copyright that. Many people can say they have the same ideas, but no one can really prove an idea. All right, that's the first thing. Second thing is facts. So if something is known as a fact already, you cannot copyright that because it's already known as a fact. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. The third one is anything not fixed. All right, so that's kind of similar to the ideas. So if it can't be seen or heard, it can't be protected. Okay, so it has to be something, you can see, feel, hear, a physical thing, or even an audio. So music or some kind of jingle, that's considered also. But aside from that, you can't really copyright anything else. All right. And lastly, something small. Okay, so if you have something small like a slogan or something, that's like 3 words, you can't really copyright it because really small and it's not really unique, it may be used in many other places. So you got to make sure about that, about it being really short. Obviously, if you have a pretty long sentence, that probably could be copyrighted. There are many different ways to do that, but and people have done that in the past. But the shorter it gets, the harder it gets to copyright. All right. So now we're gonna be talking about the main thing that you probably most want to know about is how to copyright your work, because before even protecting yourself from being copyrighted, you would want to learn how to protect yourself, but also you would want to also know how to, I guess, prevent people from copywriting. All right. So all right, from an outsider's point of view, all right, so basically, there are a few steps you need to do that you can do. You don't have to do all these, but these, obviously, the more you do, the more it helps. Is once you create something, always save it, and then once you have it saved, it's technically copyrighted. Okay, because when you save it somewhere, there's always a date and timestamp that's saved to the file. Right, let's say if you're writing a book or something, right, or if you created a video, you saved it, and somehow someone is able to steal it from you, and then now you're able to prove that when it was created, yours was created before theirs was, right, and then you can obviously bring that to court, and that will play a major role in your case. All right, so that's one thing. Another thing is let people know you will enforce copyright. So this is pretty important, because if people know you'll enforce it, right, they will less likely steal stuff from you, mainly because they don't want to go through the hassle. And not only that, if you write that specifically letting them know, they will be more conscious that you are aware of copyright and you know how to handle it. Okay, so before even protecting yourself, before even like taking the steps to copyright your work, you want to make sure that no one else steals it. Okay, so that will obviously be letting them know that you will enforce it. All right. So next thing you want to do is you want to show basically proof that you have it fixed on this particular date. So meaning that same thing, when you save a file, it automatically saves a timestamp to it. So yeah, make sure you always have the correct timestamp on it. So whether it uses your computer date or basically anything like that, you can use that as a proof for your date. All right. So next, I guess after that, if you're working on a specific website that you own and you want to protect that, you want to make sure you have the copyright symbol and the date. So and obviously keep the date updated. The date is usually, most people just do the year, right? So the copyright symbol, and then 2019 or whatever year, 2020, right? And then this is basically to create the @ sign, basically. Well, it's supposed to be the copyright sign. I just have the @ sign. But basically, to create the copyright sign, you can hold Alt 169 using the numeric pad, or just copy paste it from anywhere. You can go to Google, write copyright sign, and it'll show you, and you can copy paste it from there. All right. So that's that. And then for audio, you have a phonograph, which is basically, instead of the C, you have a P inside a circle. Okay. So if you're copywriting any audio, make sure to add that next to your audio. All right. So now basically the three of the easiest ways to copyright, in my opinion, are: one, if you have, like, let's say a novel or an audio file or something, basically you would want to package it and mail it to yourself, okay? And don't open the mail, okay? So basically this proves that you have the package with an official timestamp on it, right? And then obviously when you bring that to court, they will open it, verify it's the same documents or the same audio, and since it's timestamped, you most likely will win that case. All right. And obviously that depends on what information they have also. All right. Next is you want to hand a copy to a person whose word will hold in court of law. So basically, whether let's say you have a friend that's a cop, or basically a friend that's a judge or something. So that could help also, but I wouldn't just use this method, right? Because obviously that's just totally depends on the judge, or the person. Let's say for whatever reason the judge does not accept that, that's not your fault. It's not the person's fault either. It's just this is probably a good addition to an existing, let's say for the first one, mailing it to yourself. This is a good addition to that. All right, the third one is an online registrar. So basically you can register with an online registrar, right? And put your files over there. They do charge a fee. It's not much, but it's online. It stays there forever until let's say until you're paying for it. And since it's online, they do have all the information, when it was uploaded and all that, so you really don't need to worry about that part, whether the date and all that will be accepted or not. All right, and the third one is or the fourth one I should say is so if you're writing a novel or a book of any kind, normally whoever you're publishing with, they will handle the all the copyright work. But if you're developing a Kindle book, you got to remember you're on your own. You have to work around your own copyright system. So basically Kindle or Amazon will not support you. If your work has been copyrighted, it is up to you to go out and report them, find different copyrights. Amazon will not do that for you, and will not go around finding it for you. All right, so lastly what I want to mention is the DMCA. So DMCA is mainly for online privacy, right? So if you have a website or a form or something, you definitely want to have DMCA added to it. And they even have like these notices that show on your website, so people will know that it's DMCA protected. You will enforce it. So you definitely want to look into this, right? So basically what DMCA is, you can basically send a letter to the infringer's ISP. So if someone has stolen my work, I can find their ISP, right? So whoever is providing the internet, and they will most likely, if they validate that it is copyrighted, they will most likely take down their content. Okay, so because normally ISPs don't really want to get in the mess of hosting illegal things, since it is copyrighted, it is stolen work, it's illegal. So since they don't want to deal with that, they will take it down. Okay, obviously they will do like a small investigation of their own, and then DMCA will also. So yeah, you should look into that and do more research on that, whether that fits your specific needs or not. So yeah, that's basically it. There's not really much to it. It's really simple. This is the basics that everyone should know of, and just basically how to copyright your work and make sure you have it copyrighted, right? So yeah, obviously there's no like online police that goes around finding stolen works. That's all mainly up to the user themselves to find stolen works and report that. And most people don't even know how to report it. So this really helps. I guess I try to break it down into letting you guys know how to protect yourself. That's first of all, and then second of all, even after protecting yourself, you have been your content has been stolen, what you can do from after that. All right, so yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions or comments about this, please leave them down below. I would love to help you guys with this. If you guys want more details of a specific item or a specific bullet point that I mentioned, let me know. I'll talk more in detail about that. So yeah, overall, if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.